Injuries go. Chris Jones is out for personal reasons, and then Anthony Hitchens won't practice today, again with a tricep contusion, and then Colin Sanders' knee swelled up after the game. He won't practice, but it looks like he's doing pretty good here. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Giants. Again, know they're a good football team and well coached, so we'll have to make sure we have a good week of practice starting today, and that's what we're going to focus in on. So we've got plenty to work on, and we're going to attack that starting today. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
And are you expecting Chris Jones back tomorrow?
We'll see on that. Yeah, we'll see. Possibly tomorrow night. So.
You mentioned after the game the other day, you trust your locker room, kind of down times like this. You haven't been around them probably a whole lot the last few days, but what sort of stuff would you like them to be doing when they're not around here, and like the leadership to kind of help them with that, to keep you guys back, getting up to the winning track?
Yeah, it's a unique crew because, I mean, they were around yesterday and they were around some of the day before. So, but we, they're a group that focuses on football. They don't want to do what we're doing right now, and they want to be better. And so I appreciate that, and that helps us go right back to work and get things solved here.
They're not a group that you need to come tell do that, right? I mean, the leadership's already there. I mean,
We're a good locker room.
Yeah.
Josh Gordon got the start on Sunday, and I know you said it's been the plan every week to get him a little more involved, and situations seem to get away. Is he reaching the point where even in those situations he might be able to contribute?
Yeah, no, he is. It's kind of unique the way things have worked the last couple of weeks. So, and with all the 2-minute stuff, we didn't get him in there, but he's progressing and doing the right things, and I'm proud of him for that. And we'll see how things work out going forward, but he's doing a nice job for us.
Andy, this may be a rare situation where Pat may be in a bit of a slump. This is obviously rare for him. Just what has been your message to him, and how much do you just try to keep the week as normal as usual?
Yeah, so listen, things happen in this business, a fluid business, obviously, and you're going to have ups and downs, and so you keep pounding through it. And if you're willing to attack the issues, you can get it changed around whatever direction you want to go. This is anybody. This is any of these athletes. They're amazing people. So, and very gifted. So that's how Pat operates. He's not going to hide or shy away from anything. If there's a problem, he's going to attack it and work to fix it. And so, as coaches, we're here to teach, and that's what we do. So, any guidance that we can give them, help we can give them, any of the players, we try to do that. And that becomes important. And we've all got to raise our game up as coaches and as players. Yeah.
Andy, along those lines, have you found yourself spending any more time than usual than you would be talking to Patrick?
We spend quite a bit of time together, so I haven't, no.
And you talked a lot about turnovers and penalties for obvious reasons. Is this a situation with you guys where they sort of compound itself? Like once something doesn't go right, then you're seeing guys force things, and then it happens again?
And no, listen, I think some of them are effort that you're concentrating, putting too much effort on things, trying too hard, whatever term it is. These guys aren't trying to do that. They're not consciously trying to fumble or jump off sides or whatever it is, the penalties and turnovers. So, but on the other hand, we know we need to fix that. If you're going to have success, we need to fix that, and we know if we do fix that, we will have success, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
Eric also mentioned, EB mentioned something a couple of weeks ago, that as a player, he didn't like to be told, don't fumble, don't turn the ball over, because then it was in his head. So I guess what's sort of the balance of that, knowing that the players know that they don't want to do that sort of thing, but not putting it in their head?
Yeah. No, well, you're right. Nobody wants to be told that they're making a mistake. I mean, you guys, if you use a bad verb, which some of you do, then you don't want to hear about it. So
I'd like to.
I can give it. So, you know, but you bring it to their attention and then make sure things, you know, make sure they work through it. And there's some things that you can do. Fundamentally, there's some things you can do in the case that we have now. So you just have to be conscious with it.
Have you ever had anything like this happen in your career that you can harken back to as an assistant or anything else where you had a good football team that just hasn't been playing well?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure I have. I mean, I've been doing it a couple of years, so I'm sure somewhere in there. But I've been on teams that have changed things around. I've been on teams that couldn't change things around. So, you know, every team's different, and we're sitting here with what we've got right now. We've got to change it. You know, that's what we're putting our energy into.
Couple more guys.
About the deeper coverages you guys are seeing, you kind of talked about it a few weeks ago. How critical does it become, if you can, I know last week was 14-0 really quickly, but just to get Darryl going early?
Yeah. Yeah, and he's done that. The first couple of plays that he's had chances to run the ball, he's done a real nice job with it. The week before against Washington, he did a nice job. So he's a fast starter that way. In the first play of the game last week, he sure did a nice job with it. So, yeah, no, it's important that you get all the phases of your game going if you're on offense, and likewise on defense and special teams. So, gotta get it all rolling the best you can.
Andy, Pat's not a guy who's had a lot of games like he had in Tennessee the other day. What tells you that he's wired that he can handle this and he can fight through this and bounce back and play well Monday night or later in the season?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's the way he's wired. I mean, I believe in him. Because he doesn't hide things. A lot of guys, they'll make excuses for whatever the issue might be. And he's upfront about it. He's not afraid to talk to the players about it, the coaches about it. That's part of it. And then he goes and works on it, which is the most important thing. So, it builds a confidence in you that way.
Coach, you just talked about you've been with teams that have been able to turn it around and teams that haven't been able to. Are you confident that this group of guys can do so and turn things around? And if so, is it the leadership that you're confident in, or what about that?
Yeah, it's a strong locker room. So, we've got good coaches, good players, and we just need to do it. I mean, I've done a lot of talking, and we haven't had the results that we need. So, there's not a lot I can say that I haven't said, and we just need to get it done. That's all we need.
Coach, your thoughts on the narrative that teams have kind of caught up to your offense? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I tell you, last week it sure looked that way, right? I mean, it wasn't a very good performance. The week before, you almost had 500 yards. So I mean, I don't know if they've caught up to it. We've been giving some things away free, and we got to take care of that.
Andy, you learn so much about your group of guys, particularly a new set of group like the offensive line as the season progresses. Just how can last week serve this group, knowing it was the first time they really struggled together?
Yeah, well, listen, you get kicked in the tail, how are you going to handle it? And, you bow up and move forward. Do you learn from it? Do you practice the right way? Do you attack the issues that you might be having? And that's all of us as coaches, starting right here. Are you willing to do that? So and we all do that collectively. We'll be fine.
Last one.
Coach, as a follow-up to Neil's question on you being around teams and players that have gone through this kind of thing, going back to your time in Green Bay, you were around Brett Favre and his numerous interceptions. How much of that time there has carried over to what you're sharing with Patrick now?
Yeah, that's why I started having gray hair too. Listen, he was wired that way that you just knew he was going to power through it and keep firing, and things would work out okay. And they did there, I mean, the rest of that's history. So, but there are a few things. I'm not comparing the two. They're two different guys, but one thing they have in common, they're very competitive guys.
All right, thank you.